Hey everyone, Trish here from StrongTalk podcast, and I know I'm a bit chilly right now. So this week on my podcast, I'm talking about personal bandwidth. Some of y'all probably want to know what the heck I'm talking about. Yeah, I kind of didn't know what was meant by personal bandwidth, or that I even had one, and that I needed to recognize it and also recognize when I'm exceeding my bandwidth. So this week on Strong Talk podcast, I guess I should tell you what personal bandwidth is. Your personal bandwidth is your limit, or your capacity in dealing with various different situations, such as your personal situations and work situations. So do we know what our bandwidth is? Do you know that everyone has different levels of bandwidth? Do you know when you've exceeded, or when you're approaching, or when you're going to exceed your bandwidth? So this is probably all gibberish to some people, like it was to me a few months ago. And if you listen to my last podcast, which was disconnecting, I spoke about me disconnecting and learning different things about myself and just being more aware of myself, my emotions. And this was one of the things I've learned about personal bandwidth before, but this is one of the things that came up, and I thought I needed to share this because learning about my personal bandwidth and learning that there isn't a lot of news or a lot of information about this out there. I wanted to share this with my listeners and share this with you all out there. So if you tune into my podcast, I'm going to take you through what personal bandwidth is, what I learned. I think it's 6 things that I listed out in my podcast, but what I took away from actually learning about my personal bandwidth, the pros, actually there was no cons, but actually learning about me and exceeding my personal bandwidth, how it affected me, and then the things that I took away from it. So I'm hoping that you will take the time to listen to the podcast. It will be up on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, which is the 7th of October. I will leave the links down below for applepodcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. If you check out my Instagram page as well, which is at StrongTalk, STR0NGTALK, I'll have some I have some information on there, my podcast. If you check my highlights, there's also the links there. And on my website, trish-strongtalk.com, I'm gonna upload this video, and also the links to my podcast is on there. And if you would like to know a little bit more about me or get in contact with me, if you have any questions, I also have a Facebook page. I really like hearing from everyone. And I must say that I have to thank everyone who has been supporting me and who's been leaving me messages, sending me DMs, and just making me feel good and send me positive vibes, because it's just beautiful. So if you take away anything positive from this episode of Strong Talk, which is knowing what your personal bandwidth is and learning about it, and it helps you in any way, please leave me a comment down below, send me an email, send me a message, because it motivates me, and it motivates me to keep going. So as always, I hope you all have a blessed week, day, month, rest of the year. Stay beautiful, stay positive, people. Mindset is everything, and just take care.